So welcome guys, since we have a few additional guests here tonight, I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Amanda Villarreal, and our team brings you guys different Zooms every week that are topics that we feel are relevant to the times right now and to helping to give you guys information that we feel as though is very important to share. And we obviously know with everything going on right now that we are spending more times in our homes now than ever. So this topic of home health is extremely important, and I know some of you probably are familiar with some of the effects of harmful chemicals, but a lot of us are not. So we would encourage you guys, if you learn something, share this with someone, or this is recorded, so feel free to pass along this recording to someone else. But, you know, our philosophy is that whatever we're putting in and around our bodies, we want to focus on building health. And when we look at chemicals, it's very scary when you start to actually read the labels on your bottles. And it's interesting also that if you note, cleaning products do not have to disclose the ingredients. All they have listed are the active ingredients. So you have to wonder, all those chemicals combined, what they do in our bodies. And this is just to note, you know, a few of our common chemicals that we're familiar with. And some of these people would have no clue that when you're using them, you're actually supposed to wear gloves, or you're supposed to wear a mask, or have ventilation available for these types of cleaners. And if not, we have no idea what the long-term effects is of many of these chemicals when they're combined, and also even just when they're used for long-term purposes. Now it's interesting, even if you clean with something like bleach, it can actually continue to stay in your air for months. So even if you think, oh, I opened the window, that I should be fine after that, it can continue to last for much longer effect. And again, we gotta be thinking about what's going on in our home as we're spending more time there. You know, they say people spend about 90% of their time indoors. And it's actually very interesting. They say that women that work from home have a 54% greater chance of developing cancer. So what does that go to tell us? The more time we spend indoors, the higher our exposure is to those pollutants and our chemicals indoors. And we also want to note that a lot of those chemicals are what are the leading causes to poison control. I mentioned this one because I think it's interesting, because a lot of people are familiar with the magic erasers. And a couple years ago, the #1 cause of the calls to the Poison Control Center was kids trying to take a magic eraser and erase marks off from their skin, and it would actually cause third-degree burns that spread across their body. And nobody knows what the magic chemical is in those, and that's what happens with a lot of the products we're utilizing today, that we have no clue. So, you know, just kind of going through some of the, you know, statistics that are out there, they are saying that more and more chemicals are being added but are not being registered from the EPA. So if you look at here, the fact that 81,000 chemicals have been registered in the US in the past 40 years, but less than 20% of them have actually been tested for being toxic. So again, that's pretty scary when you think about those things that are going into things that we are using to clean our homes. So, and also the fact it's causing more and more waste, that a lot of the products you're purchasing, they add water versus using concentrates, which is something we're going to talk about, of how we can actually save a lot of money by using concentrates. And just by being more, again, aware here of how when we combine chemicals, that basically we are exposing ourselves to the biggest science experiment that has ever been done. And something has to be changed. And that's why we are all very passionate about sharing this, is because we know that we can make a difference. I know there's actually even several of you on here that could give testimonials of how, you know, switching your cleaning products or switching your laundry products has totally gotten rid of your asthma, or you don't have allergies anymore, or you don't suffer from eczema. I mean, it's amazing that your body is not going to tell you, oh, I'm allergic to a chemical in this product. It may show in different reactions in each person. And that's where, if we just can get rid of our chemicals and learn about other options, we may be surprised of how much that improves our health. So talking about indoor air pollution, talking about how, you know, one of the big things we see today too is that our houses are being built differently. And because of that, we don't have any air that's getting in and out of our home. So the chemicals we're using continue to circulate around. So as those chemicals are around us, we're sleeping them, we're working in them, and we find that over time, it's going to have an effect somehow on our bodies. And like I was saying, it could be different in everyone. Could be a symptom of asthma, could be a symptom of an allergy, it could be a reaction, but we are all different. So, you know, the fact that we always tell people to get outside, yes, we need to do that. But I know many of you are right here in West Michigan, and getting outside every single day is not always possible. So we need to make our homes as clean and as safe as we can. And also, when you think about the indoor air pollutants, again, we're mentioning kind of the common ones, right? That asthma now, they say, has quadrupled in the last 5 years. And, you know, the numbers are just continuing to rise. And I feel like a lot of these symptoms you're seeing here, these are kind of the first, oftentimes, things you might start to notice. Runny noses. You might start to notice headaches are very common. Maybe somebody that's always getting a cold and they always seem like they're getting upper respiratory infections. Those can be a direct correlation with pollutants inside our home. And sorry, we have a really loud talker in the other room, so I hope you guys can hear me okay. But 7 simple ways to detoxify your home. Again, great tips here, guys, very simple. One thing we need to think about when you're coming in your house, take off your shoes. I always encourage people to do that here too, because you don't know what you're bringing in from the outside. Detox your dry cleaning. That's a big one. If you guys use any type of dry cleaning services, they actually oftentimes use things like formaldehyde to preserve your dry cleaning. So take your bag off outside, let it sit outside a little bit before you bring it in. Check your room for carbon monoxide, VOCs, try to open your windows, know your plastics, and switch to non-toxic safe cleaners, which is a big focus of what we're going to be talking about here tonight. And we have a lot to share with this topic. So just to kind of mention here really fast, these are all the things that you don't want to see in your cleaning products. Now, I mentioned at the beginning, in order to find the ingredients in your products, you got to go to the EPA, to a website to actually look up a lot of these products. But these are things that you do not want to see in anything you are using. And some of these things can even be found in personal care products, which is pretty crazy. And again, because of the lack of regulations on many of the things that go into our system, like supplements, like personal care products, and like cleaning products, there's actually a lot of lack of regulations in many of those areas. So some of those chemicals, again, we don't know the long-term effects of them. So again, just to be cautious and to be aware and to learn and educate yourself is key. So we're going to be kind of talking about here just some options, and I always like to highlight the importance of understanding why do we support a company and a brand partner like Shaklee. And this is pretty much the foundation of 100% why we believe that 100-year history and the fact that everything we see today pretty much in the health and wellness marketplace was somehow designed and implemented from something that Shaklee had started, including green cleaning and non-toxic cleaning. So we want to make sure we just kind of highlight that as a great piece for you for education, because there are so many companies out there that claim to be green, that claim to be all natural. Remember, those are buzzwords. It doesn't actually mean the products are safe. It doesn't mean they work, and also doesn't mean they're clean. If you look at a company that's very familiar, and I won't say the name of it because I don't like to bash other companies, but if you look in most of your stores, you will find this brand. And if you do a little bit of research, you'll be very surprised that almost every single product is petroleum based. And petroleum has nothing to do with being green, and they promote themselves as green cleaners. So we need to do our research and learn. And that's where we have found that Shaklee for more than 60 years has promoted better health for people. And the very first biodegradable cleaner that was ever created was a product called Basic H. And it is extremely concentrated. It was the first Earth Day product back in 1970. And it has been used in many different expeditions of people that, you know, basically are trying to preserve nature and focus on not destroying our environment. And that's where you can feel really good knowing that Shaklee has been green before green was cool. Now green is the big buzzword of many things. And we know that basically they created this whole movement of making sure we're trying to make a difference in not just our, you know, we're looking at the environmental concerns, but even just from the standpoint of look at how much waste we can lessen just by making a change by using products that are concentrated. And that's what you're going to find, that many of these things, they last forever. And one of the basic foundational products was that Basic H2 we mentioned. And the really cool thing about the products is they're versatile. You can use them for many different things. Like the Basic H2, It sounds always crazy when we first start telling people about this product, but it has over 1,000 uses. I can tell you personal stories. Some of you have some great ones too, just from everything from washing our dog with it to using it as mosquito repellent to I've gotten slime out of our daughter's hair. If you know anything about slime, it is not fun and it is a disaster. It works for fertilizing fruit trees. You can use it to also clean your windows, clean your floors, and everything else. We use it to wash our cars. I mean, it just has so many different uses, but if you're looking at the screen here, you can see the concentration of this. A 1/4 teaspoon to 16 ounces of water, 1 to 2 drops to 16 ounces of water to make a window cleaner. Now, when you use this product, it's very, important to note though, when we're generally cleaning, we do not need to always have germicide factors. We're going to talk about disinfecting here in a little bit, but for most of our cleaning purposes, we don't need to be killing germs, kind of like the antibacterial movement was so popular a while ago. We just need to be wiping down surfaces, and that's where the basic H2 is great because it's a powerful cleaner, but we don't have to be worrying about it stripping away the good things that we still want around in our environment. So, and for our immune system. So here's just the breakdown of helping you to see the cost of this. I mean, amazing. For all purpose, it makes 214 bottles. It costs less than 5 cents per bottle to make. And these products in this kit are also what is called green sealed certified. So they're safe to use in public facilities. So churches can use them. Many daycares use these products. So much safer than having these chemicals around kids that people, are oftentimes even elderly using that have no idea the harmful dangers of this. The window cleaner, this statistic always amazes people that it makes over 5,824 bottles of window cleaner. So it costs less than 1 cent. Again, this one bottle of basic H2 costs under $11 and it will last you for many of us several years. So depending on how much you use it for. But then we also have options looking at laundry. And this would be another one that we always suggest if somebody's noticing a lot of breathing issues, that the clothes you're wearing, the sheets you're sleeping on, really play a part in what's happening that you're breathing in all the time. So even if you're using free and clear or Tide free, it doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't have chemicals used in it. So we always encourage people to try other options such as the Get Clean products, because we have had testimonial after testimonial of how switching has made a drastic improvement in people's health, which also ties to your immune system. And we're talking right now, guys, again, being in home more, we really need to keep our immune system as healthy as possible. So, getting rid of the chemicals, like even things in your laundry detergent, is huge. This is very concentrated. We use about 1/2 ounce to a large load of laundry. This comes in 2 sizes. This is a smaller one. There's also a bigger one. And there's a powdered version of this too. So it's great to know there's options for everyone. And this is a stain remover, so you don't have to have multiple products. You can use it directly on a spot, throw it in your hamper, and then when you wash it, it gets out stains very, very well. So there's also a version of our bleach or our alternative for like an OxyClean. And the Nature Bright basically whitens and brightens. You can use it in whites, you can use it in colors, but you can also use this product like for a stain in your carpet, or to whiten grout, or to scrub a specific stain out of something you couldn't get out with a laundry detergent. This is going to be very powerful. So love this bleach alternative because, again, you can use it in everything. And also our dryer sheets. These are vegetable based. They actually biodegrade on their own. And if you know anything about dryer sheets and some of the ingredients in them, it's very interesting and actually kind of scary to note that people actually hang dryer sheets around their campers when they camp during the summer, because they have found that they have rat poison in them and it will repel rodents. So think about the stuff that you are putting to dry your clothes with. You would never think that it could have a poisonous chemical in it. And most dryer sheets, if you put them into a landfill, they will never break down. So the life of us, our kids, their kids, our kids, doesn't matter. They will be there forever. So even just from a better mental standpoint, be very cautious of using dryer sheets. There's also a liquid fabric softener that's personally our favorite. Again, very concentrated and gives you a little bit of scent for people that do like that smell. That's why a lot of people struggle with switching laundry detergents, but you can still get a smell to it. Dishwasher, very powerful in working to not use things like chlorine to clean your dishes. If you read the back of many of your products that are going into a dishwasher, it will say right on the back, it is fatal if swallowed. So think about when you wash your dishes of how many times you still see residue on your dishes. And that should be very eye-opening if you have someone that struggles a lot with their esophagus, if they have different, even acid reflux type issues. You would never think that that could be related to your dishwasher detergent, but it's definitely something to think about and to note that there are alternatives that work just as well and that are actually more cost effective. So note the dishwasher. Hand wash. Similar concept, that it does not use anything that would not break down the environment. So, we have a lot of people that, for example, during the summer, they're big on boating and camping, and, they can use any of our products and it will never harm the wildlife. So if they're washing their boats, they can use the H2. If they dump their hand wash that they wash their dishes in, into the water, we don't have to worry because it's all biodegradable and non-toxic. This bottle here, you use a few drops to do a full sink load of dishes. So again, the concentration of this, amazing. Now, we talked about disinfecting, so we need to know what do we use when we need to right now kill things like the coronavirus. We need to, kill things like bacteria and E. coli. These wipes are amazing. Love these, that you can use these on all surfaces and won't hurt or damage anything. And it's going to be your alternative to like your Lysol or your Clorox wipes. And grab them. They're simple, they're easy, and they're convenient. And the fact that they actually disinfect more chemicals, and the disinfectant actually lasts longer. So when you clean with bleach, it's actually only effective up to 12 hours. When you clean with the Basic G or the germ off wipes, it actually will continue to kill for up to 36 hours. So it has a longer, powerful, to me, cleaning time, which also makes it important because sometimes it's hard to keep up with all the cleaning. So, all right, so we want to highlight here really fast that this is the entire Get Clean line. So you can purchase the kit, which is a great value. This kit is $99, which is by far the best way we say to go if somebody is initially switching out all their cleaning products, because this is equivalent to $3,400 worth of cleaning products. Again, it's the concentration factor. So you get a caddy, you get your microfiber cloths, you get all of your bottles you need, and every single product you see here on the screen for that $99. So again, tremendous value, and we are huge fans of just, again, starting out with the kit. But there's also a few products we want to make sure we highlight because they're not included, but we always suggest as add-ons. Right now, we are washing our hands a ton. So if you notice your hand, or you should be anyways. So if you notice your hands are getting really dry, a lot of times your hand soaps are very drying because the main ingredient there is alcohol. You may notice too that your skin starts to crack. This stuff is awesome because it has wheat germ in there. It's very low as far as how it suds up, but it cleans very well. And it's very pH balanced, which is why it will not create your skin to become very dry. So love this. Our kids use it too. And I really like this dispenser pump you can get. I think it's like $1.50, but it dispenses just enough with one pump. So you guys that have kids like us, they don't sit there and keep pumping, pumping, pumping. It's pretty much one pump, and then it takes a little while to come back up. So I notice we don't waste it as much by using the dispenser there. And then our next product, which again, this is something, I know we're telling you about a lot of things here, but I want a quick overview that the Basic G is something that is a concentrate. Again, you buy it in this size here, quart size, and this one bottle makes over 64 gallons of cleaners. And again, the fact that this is safe and it is listed from the EPA to kill the coronavirus, it is a very popular product right now. So it is on back order for a little bit, but they're working as hard as they can to get it back here very soon. But mixing this, and I put this on the screen here because you've had a lot of questions of how is it used against the coronavirus, in what way, because you can mix this in different dilutions to make it more powerful. So you're going to use a stronger version of this to actually kill the coronavirus, but it's great to know there's options, guys, that, again, way better than bleach. You don't have to worry about the smell of this, and you don't have to worry the fact, again, it's not going to be toxic. So again, it's still a germicide, so we have to note it's not something you're going to drink. It's not a food, but it's going to be effective to kill what you need it to. So we are, again, big fans of the Basic G. And one last product to mention here, which if anybody's interested in getting started, or even if you just need to replace a lot of your cleaning products, we're going to give this to you for free with any of your bundle purchases of cleaning products over $150. So through this week, the Scour Off is an all-time favorite. It smells like cherries. This is a picture of our deck, and I used it to take off mold off from our deck, which, again, you wouldn't think that, that would be all that important. But I had tried water, I had tried dish soap, I even tried the H2, and it didn't work. And the Scour Off was like, I hardly touched it, and it cleaned it right off. So the Scour Off is a heavy-duty paste. It smells like cherries, and it is activated by water. So you use a very small amount of it, and you can use it for things like cleaning your oven, for if you have a glass stove top, that's how we clean the top of our stove. You can use it for stainless steel. If you get soap scum on the inside of your shower, if you want to polish silver, the rims of your car, people love it for those. It has a lot of different features that you would use, like a scrubbing bubbles or a heavy, thick cleanser for. That's what you would use the Scour off for. So again, we are big fans of this too, and I think it's just a great thing to note right now that these are all options, guys. Marks on your walls. That's a great one. We talked about that magic eraser earlier. This is what you would use instead of a magic eraser to remove any things off from your walls too. So we just covered a whole lot of stuff here, guys. Again, that's a great overview of all of the cleaning products that are safe, non-toxic, and are great options for replacements. But we also just want to highlight here really fast, because our whole goal is to help everyone that we can with improving their health and focusing on prevention. These are some of the topics we've really been hitting hard lately. Focusing on immunity, focusing on thinking about what we can do now in case we do get sick. So this screen, just a quick highlight of some of the things that if we could tell you right now to be more aware of in taking more of, it would be things like this. Vitamin C has been proven against the coronavirus in high amounts. Making sure that we're taking extra zinc, adding vitamin D, adding a good probiotic, and Nutriferon is a staple of ours, especially coming into with allergy and that seasonal changes coming up here. That's Nutriferon helping to balance your immune system. So if you do get hit by a virus, I just shared a post in our lifestyle group the other day of a testimonial from someone that had said they actually had gotten the coronavirus, and when they went to the doctor said, "What have you been doing?" And they said, "Taking Shaklee products." And the doctor said, "Shaklee saved your life." Like, there are not too many people when they get hit hard right now by some of these viruses that they can bounce back. So we want to be strategic, and knowing these options, I think, are key for helping us all to know what we can do to be proactive. So lastly, guys, next week, our topic, we're going to try to do a virtual smoothie workshop. So we'd love for you to join us next week at 8:30. And we're also going to give some meal ideas, because we've been hearing that people are running out of ideas to cook, and people are getting frustrated because they're not sure how to use some of their cooking skills because they're not used to being home this much. So we're going to give you some ideas next week. So join us at 8:30. And last but not least, we just want to mention here really quickly that this week, Wednesday, our CEO of Shaklee, Roger Barnett, is going to be doing a special Zoom. I don't think it's a Zoom, actually. It's just a live broadcast and talking about some of the things that Shaklee is doing to help with the economy right now and helping to think about how we can make a difference.
Thursday.
If you want the link for this, it is going to be this Thursday at 8 o'clock. So reach out to whoever invited you, and we'd be happy to share that with you. Last thing, guys, if you are on Facebook, we have this group going right now. We just shared some meal ideas in there today, but this is a support group for you guys while we are going through these challenging times to help give you some ideas of just improving health. So if you want to be added, check that out on Facebook, Surviving and Thriving Nutrition Challenge Group, and we'd be happy to add you. All right, guys, let's open up for questions. If you want to unmute yourself, feel free to do that now. If you have anything you want to ask, if you want to add anything, or you have a testimonial, we'd love to hear from you. Again, don't forget to unmute yourself. You guys are quiet. Perfect. That means you were all excited and ready to go.
I do. Hi, Amanda. Can you hear me?
Oh, I do hear you. Yes.
Oh, this is Sean. Oh, yeah, I do have a testimonial with the scour off. It also cleaned. I had grease on my wheels of my tire on the metal part, the rim. Nothing worked, and then I used a scour off, and that got it right off.
Nice.
We also just used it this week. My husband took the glass out of our fireplace, and we tried several different things, and we were a little bit nervous to use it on it because we thought, well, I hope it doesn't, scratch it. But it was beautiful. We used it, and the glass is perfect now.
Nice, awesome, thanks. Great.
The basic H. Can you spray that in the air and it disinfects the air, or if there's anything going on there, like in the room?
The basic G would, Judy, but not the basic H.
Okay.
Yes, good question. The basic G is the disinfectant and the germicide, but the basic H2 doesn't have chemicals to kill viruses. Okay. So
it'd be the G. Okay.
Yes. And this is not a Shaklee approved statement I'm going to make here, but we have a neighbor that Sarah knows what I wasn't gonna say about the hand sanitizer, Sarah, but we have a neighbor that was saying she put it in her diffuser, the Basic G, and 2 of her kids had influenza B, and she started putting that Basic G in, and they have 5 kids, and the other 3, and neither of the parents got the flu, and she swears it was because she diffused the Basic G throughout her house. So good little tip, but again, that's not a Shaklee approved thing. So, all right, guys. Good. Anybody else?
I actually started putting it in my diffuser too after you told me that.
You did? Okay, good.
I have 2 of them, and lately I'm like, I got both of them going, and it's got just a teeny bit in, but I'll take whatever I can get right now and try and kill whatever might be in the air. So
Nice. Good. And you're still alive, so that's a good sign.
well, I'm still here.
All right, good. All right, great. Guys, anybody else?
Shaklee hand sanitizer is not approved either.
No, it's not. We have been making hand sanitizer with the G2, but technically you're not supposed to use the Basic G on your skin. I have been doing it for about 20 years though, and again, I'm still okay too, but you have to be careful when it's a cleaning product because the FDA does say you can't make claims that it's used for your skin, but we do dilute the Basic G and use it for hand sanitizer, and Sarah posted that and was
I got in trouble.
yeah, I got in trouble. So we'll make sure we say that little side claim there. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining us. If you guys are hanging on for business training, please stay around for a little while. Otherwise, thanks so much for joining us. And if you have some topics, we'd love to hear from you. And have a great night, guys. Stay healthy. Thank you.
You too.
Thanks.